everyone, Letty here. Welcome to day 19 of my Christmas in July crafty series. Today I'm going to be doing hashtag N2S Christmas in July. This is a collab video. I'm going to make some hot cocoa sleeves. Welcome back everyone. So for today's hashtag PPP Christmas in July, I am going to be doing a not too shabby collab. I do have a not too shabby website link that I'll link down below for you. And so we are having a Christmas in July hop with the hashtag N2S Xmas in July. Today I'm going to be using the Gingerbread Kisses 6x6 paper pad. Here is what this paper pad looks like. And unfortunately, I think this one is sold out. So hopefully you have it already in your stash. But I definitely wanted to use it. I think this is one of my favorite pads that has ever been released for Christmas line from Not Too Shabby. And then I'm also using the ephemera pack, which is also Gingerbread Kisses. I believe it's still available. Here are the items that come in this ephemera pack. They're super, super cute. Again, some of my favorites from Not Too Shabby. There are a ton of stamps you could use for this project, but today I'm making a hot cocoa sleeve. I have done this on my channel before. I think it's just a super fun little easy project, and it takes no time at all to make these. So we're going to make some of these today. I'm using a stamp set today with a to and a from, and so I am using the Gingerbread Hugs stamp and die set. Christmas calories don't count, and then the to and the from, and then have a sweet holiday season. So again, Gingerbread Hugs, they do have a coordinating die. This is the one that I'm using, but there are some other options you could use. This one's called Warm Drink Cold Day. This is a stamp set that came in one of the box of the months from last year. It is super cute, and it has some really great sentiments on this one in case you have it in your stash. Or Snowman Soup. This one also has some great sentiments that would work perfectly for this hot cocoa sleeve project. So just as some inspiration for you, some ideas. But I am using the Gingerbread Hugs stamp set today with my project. So again, today's project is going to be a hot cocoa sleeve. We are going to make 2 of them. And this is again for the hashtag N2S Xmas in July. It's a little hop that we're doing with the design team members from the Not Too Shabby shop. So I am using one sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. You can make 2 sleeves from that one sheet of cardstock. I'm also going to use one sheet of 6x6 paper, and you only need one to make also 2 sleeves. I do have some additional items. I have some twine. I'm using 18 inches per hot cocoa sleeve. I'm using a couple pieces of ephemera that came from that Gingerbread Kisses ephemera pack, some stamp sentiments, and then also some tags that also have a to and a from on them, and some layering mats that are 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. So I've got one of each for each of the sleeves, so 2 total. So again, this is the project that we're going to make. It is super easy and a great project to work ahead on and make ahead. You see here, it's seamless, so you actually don't see where I've glued. I'll show you that. That's one of my favorite things of the project. You can make just your little layouts, make them in mass, and then eventually come back and finish off your hot cocoa sleeves, or finish off with the ribbon and the twine and the little tags at the very, very end. So you've got lots of options. You could do it in totally different stages and prep them months in advance prior to needing them. They're super, super flat if you want to just prep those little front mats. So let's dive into today's project. So we're going to be making this hot cocoa sleeve foundation first. I'm using one sheet of cardstock, 8.5 by 11. I'm going to cut it at 3 1/2 on that 8.5 inch side twice. So our final foundation is 3 1/2 by 11. I'm going to cut one more. So again, you can get 2 from one sheet of cardstock. You will have a little scrap left over, but basically you can make 2 of these sleeves from one sheet of cardstock. So we're going to go ahead and score, and I'm using a small scoreboard today, but I will give you the dimensions for a large score. So you're going to score at 1 1/2, 3/4, and then you're going to flip it and score it at 1/4, and then 5 1/4. So again, all of this is on the 11 inch side. So we're going to score at 1/2, 3/4, flip it, 1/4, and then 5 1/4. And so this is if you're using a small scoreboard. If you're using a large scoreboard, it's 1/2, 3/4, 5 3/4, and 10 3/4. I will list all these dimensions and scoring numbers down below just to make it a little bit easier as well for you. Okay, so we've done our scoring. Now let's go ahead and move into our cutting of our paper for our project. I'm going to just move everything aside that I have. Let's move into our paper. So our layering mat is 3 1/4 by 4 3/4, and then we're going to cut this paper down. And the reason why I used the layering mat is so that I could get 2 mats from the one sheet of 6x6 paper. You see here, I am going to have a little bit of a scrap that I'm going to layer right on top just to break up some of that pattern. And I'm doing this just so I don't have scraps. This will be a no scrap project or a one sheet wonder. And so you do not have to do this, but this is what I'll do. So I'm going to cut it at 3 inches vertically, meaning up and down. And I'm going to basically have it a piece that's 3 by 6. I'm going to rotate it and I'm going to cut it at 4.5 on the 6-inch side. And so now I have these larger mats that are 3 by 4.5 and then some scraps that are 3 inches by 1.5. So all I'm going to do is flip over the small mat, layer it right on top of the front, and then go ahead and layer it on my larger paper mat, and then put it right on the front of my hot cocoa sleeve. So this is just what I'm doing, again, just so I don't have any paper scraps. You don't have to do this same cutting method, but you can technically, and you can technically cut your paper larger. I'm just doing it this way so I can maximize my supplies and get more hot cocoa sleeves from fewer supplies. So then I'm going to go ahead and glue the layered papers right onto my little mat. Then I'll decorate, and then I'll add them to my final foundation of my hot cocoa sleeve. So these are such an easy project. You can very much mass produce these very easily. I'm going to add my decorations, my stamped sentiment, my piece of ephemera. I'm going to use a little bit of wet glue for this just because it makes it easier. You could always pop up some of these pieces with foam dimensional tape. I'm going to keep things flat because I'm mass producing right now. I want to make as many ahead of time as I can for the holiday season, and so it's easier for me to store them if they're flatter. Again, you do not have to do this. You could add some dimensional tape and kind of pop these up. You can do anything that you want to do. I'm going to just keep them a little flatter today. So those are my two front decorated panels. Let's go ahead and take our foundation, and I'm going to show you how we're going to glue this down. So you right where you have the little section that has the score that's 1/4 of an inch at the bottom, that's the section you want to go ahead and glue your mat onto. So you want to make sure you're doing the opposite side that you scored, and then on the side that has the 1/4 inch little flap at the very bottom. So not the section that had the 1/2 and 3/4 of an inch, but only the one that had the 1/4 inch score line. And I'll show you why this makes perfect sense in just a second. So we have our two little mats glued down onto our foundation. Next step is we're going to go ahead and enforce those score lines. So I'm just going to take a second to just enforce all of my little score lines. And you can use a bone folder for this. I ended up not needing it. But once you have your foundations scored and then enforced, you'll be ready to do your final gluing. This is such an easy project. So the last step is we're going to go ahead and add some glue, and you're going to be looking for that little 1/2 inch section. So you see how the 1/2 inch section is going to basically go on the inside of your sleeve. This is why I mentioned you would not be able to see any of your your score lines or anything, your folds. It would be seamless because you're going to add glue to this 1/2 inch side, just like this on the inside, and then put it right under that 1/4 inch score line on the opposite side of your sleeve. So you'll add glue to the 1/2 inch side and then push it right up into the other side, right under the score that's for that 1/4 of an inch. Then add glue to that 1/4 of an inch little score section and then push it down, and that will be your final sleeve sort of seams. So you see here, it's seamless. You don't really see where we've added that glue. You don't have paper that's overlapping. And that's because those seams are hidden on the inside of your sleeve, just like this. So we're adding it to the 1/2 inch, and then we'll add it to the 1/4 of an inch flap and then glue it down. It's super, super easy. So just like this, so we've just made 2 sleeves really quickly on camera using our supplies from Not Too Shabby Shop. I'm going to add some twine to finish off these sleeves. These are just for extra decoration. Again, this one's a hashtag driven hop. So if you click on the hashtag N2S Xmas in July, you can get a ton of inspiration from the Not Too Shabby design team. If you're wanting even more inspiration, click on the hashtag PPP Christmas in July. That is my little Christmas crafty series that I'm doing, where I'm putting out a new Christmas video every day in the month of July, just to give you some additional crafty inspiration so you can make your holiday projects ahead of time. So we've added the bow with the tag. Our sleeve is complete. We just need to add in that hot cocoa pack, which again, you can do a little closer to when you're going to be needing them. These are a great make ahead project since it's just paper. There's non-perishables involved. You can make a ton of these sleeves ahead of time prior to the holiday. And that way, when you do need them around Christmas time, you already have a ton of these ready. And all you have to do is insert that hot cocoa. So again, this was my project for hashtag N2S Christmas in July. I used gingerbread kisses, paper pad and ephemera, and then the hugs stamp set. I made hot cocoa sleeves today for my project for this hop. I hope you got inspired. I really like that it's seamless. You could always add your stamp if you have one on the back. So these were the two that we made on camera. And then again, you could make ahead these little sleeves with or without decorations, just prep them. And then you could actually glue them to the sleeves and then add your twine and your tags later on down the line. You can really mass produce these. This is a great project to make ahead. This is one of those projects that I go through a ton every holiday season. You could use them for craft fairs or for gifts, or give them to family and friend members to give to teachers or mailmen or whoever. This is just a really great project, and I hope you enjoy this hop. Make sure you click on that link. Again, the hashtag is hashtag N2S Xmas in July. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you get a ton of inspiration. I hope you check out everyone's video. Here is a link to my Christmas playlist in case you want even more inspiration. Happy holiday crafting.